or someone else can read it for me.
All right.
So I'll...
Yeah, go on.
Okay. I don't know if I can do it.
You can.
Okay.
Oh, don't start.
Deep breath.
Mick, a son, a husband, a dad, a granddad, a brother, a nephew, a cousin, an uncle, and a friend. Growing up... You always have to try and take the attention, don't you, Jane? It'd be like that all your bloody life.
So it's a regular thing, Lindog.
It's not just when she's had a drink.
Damien's over there, let me get my speech on, man. Do you know what I mean?
Otherwise I would have been up there.
You've done well to stay up. I thought you were going then.
At least you made her laugh.
Did you get that on film? Yeah. Fiona was videoing as well.
You know that's going to be on Facebook. You can get 250. Please send it to you.
Nothing goes on Facebook. Okay, I'll start again. Mick, a son, a husband, a dad, a granddad, a brother, a nephew, a cousin, an uncle, and a friend. Growing up, Mick was fun, lively, game. He was a daredevil, mischievous, and then as a man, he was reserved. He had strong values, traditional, independent, could be unsociable, but very much his own person. Not a lot would sway him if he made his mind up, would it, Lise? No. Mick had lots of interests, metal detecting, antiques, clocks, shooting, renovating cars and driving fast cars.
And I remember when you would lock the doors, I would come in and there would be Mick down on my settee. He delivered a car in London and it was late to go back to Thanet. So
Just let himself in.
just let himself be on my settee.
So all those times you wondered where it was
When our dad died, it had a massive impact on Mick. He took it really badly. But since then, Mick's had a full life. 5 brothers and sisters, Baldy, Adele, Steve, Lisa and me. Marrying Lisa for almost 49 years, was it 48 or 49? 49
almost 49 years today.
49 years. Wow. And then of course Damien and Fiona and all of his grandchildren and our mum all through his life too. Got a couple of stories about Mick. When he was about 5 or 6, he shared a room with, I don't know if it was Steve and Baldy or just Baldy. One night, I wasn't even born then, but Mum's told me about this. He was going up to bed and he had his pyjama top on and
They were only little.
they were, yeah, little. And he had his pyjama top on and he had something all stuffed down his pyjama top. And it was winter and Mum went to say goodnight to him and she said, what have you got down your pyjama top? And it was all firewood. He was going to build a fire in the bedroom to keep him warm.
And I used to put them to bed and lock the door because they used to have a good time before they went to sleep, you know, fucking about. And then I'd go in and make sure so they could have had a fire. He would have done that. And they couldn't have got out.
He was a tinker,
Have a good
wasn't
time in there.
he? He was a tinker.
Make it sound like
In fact, out of all my brothers and sisters, I think Mick and I were probably the most similar in our, not necessarily so much in our personalities, but in our interests and which takes me on to. I don't think I ever got into arson, no. But I remember when I was when I was young, maybe about 8 or 9, he used to have a workshop down in Broadstairs. Because he's always been into cars, doing them up, fixing them, kit cars, that sort of thing. And I just used to go down to his workshop and just watch him working. I used to find it fascinating. Another little story, Jane, you might want to tell us about Uncle Barney when we went fishing.
Oh yeah, I was just saying,
when he went fishing with Uncle Barney and
About 9, was he?
yeah, something like that, and he fell in the river. He went to cast his rod and he fell straight in. And Uncle Barney was always a bit, you know, tell you off if you did something wrong, but rather than tell him off, he just went, "Oh Mick, get out of the river, you're frightening all the fish away." So he thought he got away with that one.
Another good tip that Mick gave me was choosing red wine. He always said it doesn't matter where you buy it from, how much it costs, as long as it's 12.5 or 13%, it'll be a good drop. And I've always done that, and it's right. I've always kind of looked up to Mick, and I've listened to what he said to me. And I've carried on with his passion for cars because I like fast cars as well. Another thing that he did was in these woods here, we used to go shooting. Lisa used to go as well, probably before me, and then I went from a really young age.
But it was actually wrong.
And
Kids, mate, back in the day then, kids could do anything.
Yeah.
Andy used to walk around with a shotgun at 8 years old. It's nuts.
Yeah, well, so Uncle
He still
Ron
would have done now if he was allowed.
Uncle Ron taught Mick, and then Mick taught me.
Yeah.
And I went out with him shooting.
Did you? Yeah, he was well into it.
Nick gave me my first true value of wild things because we went shooting and he said to me, "Look, there's a pigeon up in that tree. See if you can get that." So I lifted up the air rifle, took aim, shot, and I hit it.
Oh.
And it landed on the ground, but it wasn't dead.
Oh.
And he made me finish it off.
Oh my
I'm
god!
sorry to be morbid,
Yeah.
but that
Yeah, that's what you was there to do.
really more personally just what a dreadful thing I'd done by aiming a gun at something,
Yeah.
you know? So he gave me that.
Yeah.
I've always remembered it.
Yeah. And there was another time when, so he taught me how to shoot. I know how to aim, focusing on my breathing, keeping calm, keeping steady, lining it all up. I must have been about 8 or so. I came home, I've been out because you could just go out around here, just play wherever. I have lots of friends around here. I went in the back way, in the side, through the back gate, and went into the garden, and there on the grass was his rifle with the targets all lined up, and nobody was around. So what am I going to do? I'm going to have a go. So I laid down on the grass, I got it all lined up, and at the back of the garden was like fencing, and then there was another house, like a garden area. And anyway, I lined it all up and I took my shot. I missed the target and I heard a scream. And the lady was out there feeding her chickens.
Well, you hit her.
I nearly shot her.
Oh, I was like,
So I dropped it and ran. I thought I had to let Mick take the bait for that. So we probably got her coming round the house. Mum
And
used
Mel
to get...
went, "Mick did it."
Exactly. Well, what are you going to do if you see a rifle on the grass? You're 8 years old, you know what I mean? I still can't believe that Mick's physical body's not here anymore, but I know he will always be around us, never far away, close in our hearts to Lisa, and continue to live on through Damien and Fiona and his beautiful family.
Can I just say one thing that Mick did that I shall never forget? His father used to mix paints together to get a certain colour, and Michael was always interested what his father was doing. Anyway, one day when we were all out, he got 2 pots of paint and mixed them up, and then he didn't know what to say. He took it upstairs and he was going to hide it, I think. But then he had another idea. He opened the window and threw it over next door's fence, over the shed that hadn't been built very long. And all this paint.
How about when he painted Stephen?
Oh yeah. And when they were little, really little, he said to, I don't know where they got the paint from, but he said
Gordon
to
was
Steve,
painting the fence.
oh yeah, that's right. He said to Steve, who was only a little bit younger than him, stand still and I'll paint you. So Steve would stand still and he painted him all down. He did.
Brilliant.
Well, it's like when
Oh.
we used to come
such a
down
sibling
to
thing, yeah,
for our summer holidays, and we used to stay in the caravan
Yeah,
because they always used to have students and everything.
yeah.
And we'd be in bed, and all of a sudden we'd hear all these scary noises and scratches on the windows and everything. It was always Mick outside,
Gordon used
brightening
to
the
tell
life
us
out of
the
us.
ghost stories, and Nick would be outside making sound.
And we'd be screaming.
And then he loved fireworks. He loved fireworks. And so did his father. And his father used to make them. Do you remember that?
Bloody hell.
Do you remember?
Yes.
See, I've only got 2 drawers now. I wanted to say, do you remember what I was saying? Anyway, one day his father made a big rocket. He put all this stuff in it. I used to hate it. I used to stay indoors and he'd be out in our big garden. Anyway, before he let the rocket off, there were other fireworks going off, and one of them wasn't quite, it didn't quite go. So, of course, don't touch it, his father said. Don't touch it. Nick did touch it. Like this, he's got it. And there's a picture of him down there, and he burned all the top of his with a firework.
Uncle Goldie blew the shed up, didn't he?
Yeah, there is. There's a picture of it, Mum. Yeah.
There is a
He
picture
was
of
in
him.
there,
It's
hiding
the same
inside
one,
it,
because
and
of
there was a little firework gun
You
sound.
said as
Uncle Goldie said
well.
he took a puff and he said it's one spark. He said it was like slow motion, and it landed in
That's
the
like a
sun
film.
and blew the shed
It's
up
like
around.
your body's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mr. Bed fell off again.
At
yes.
this point.
That's why
Okay,
you
so
you don't
we're
do
with the
it when
cricket
you're
pitch because this
This
is
is
his
where I
big
got
wish to have his ashes scattered here, and he used to play cricket here. And we obviously lived in Park Avenue, which is the road that I grew up in.
Over here.
It's over there. But evidently he lives near the woods as well.
In the woods. Yeah, we grew up, we lived in the woods, didn't we, Liz?
But he was really good, wasn't he? Playing cricket. He was nearly chosen.
Where did I hear that
cricket
he
team.
was what they wanted him to play for 10?
Yeah. I seem to remember
I
that.
don't remember that.
Right, Dave, do you want to?
Yeah, it's funny you listen to all these stories, and you can see traits of it. I can see traits of him in my grandkids as well, and in myself, and also the mixing paint. When he used
Talk
to,
up a bit, love.
when he used to do his cars, he was mixing paint then, so it's something that he's always been interested in. It's also nice to know that I've got a family down here that I can come down to and get the support. In times like this, because it doesn't matter how long I don't see people, they always make me feel welcome, which is nice. It's a bit of a strange situation, it's surreal. I stay at my mum's and I come downstairs and I see my dad sat in his chair, and he'll say, "Morning, Dave." I say, "Morning, Dad." And he'll say, "Just sleeping right?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." He'll like, so. And he'll just go back to watching his rubbish on YouTube, on the news, eating his porridge, and I can literally see him. It's unreal. My dad was a bit of a lad back in the day. He's a bit of a tough guy, a bit of a geezer, but he's also a really kind man with a big heart. And he had a charisma that drew people to him, and he knew how to talk to people, and people liked him, even though he was antisocial. The funny thing. One of my earliest memories of my dad was I thought I'd help him out one day by filling his car up. So I went round to his Pride and Joy, Austin Healy, I think it was. I'd done the petrol cap on my little blue shovel and started shoveling sand straight into the tank. Obviously, I know, well, obviously as a child, I was helping out and I didn't get the response I was hoping for. My mum and my dad arguing about who should have been watching me and stuff, and I was like, I was helping out,
I think that was a turning point for him as well, that he realised he was a parent and he couldn't kill you.
I remember in Cornwall almost getting cut off by the tide, but you don't worry about these things because you're with your dad and he looks after you, doesn't he? I remember one time actually, I think it was a holiday in Cornwall, it was just me and him, and we walking across the field, and we rounded these bushes to see this massive black bull sat there staring at us. And I was literally about 5, and he sort of put his arm down and said, right, the other way. And we started walking back, and I was looking behind me, seeing this bull stand up. And he started trotting towards us, and we started running, and he jumped over this, what looked like a muddy stream, and I went to jump over it, and actually didn't make it, and started sinking into the quicksand basically. So there's my dad trying to pull me out of the quicksand, and I'm looking behind me and seeing this ball started trotting up towards us. And luckily he managed to pull us out, and the boot sort of sunk to the bottom, never to be seen again. And I remember him running off with me, and me looking over his shoulder, and this ball just turning away.
You didn't tell me that one.
No. It's funny how I always go into these situations with Dad, eh? Round about bonfire night last year, I sort of had this thought that I should probably spend more time with the parents for that, and I'm not getting any younger. So one day in January, I think I come up for the night with me and my mum and my dad, and we just had a curry and watched a film. And it was really nice. My mum said he enjoyed that. So. And he wasn't the type to say anything too emotional. But yeah, so that was good. And the next day I told him about my 3rd child was on its way, and his 6th grandchild, which is pretty amazing to have 6 grandchildren, or any grandchildren really. And it's through them that he lives on. It's through me, through my sister, through our kids and their kids. They'll always be around us. And today we brought him back home, and this is where he can be at peace. And I'd like to just say, my dad's gone in body, but he'll always be around in spirit and living through us all. So I'd just like to raise a glass and say to my dad, Michael Albert Richards, love you.
Amen.
The day before he died, bless him, it was Mother's Day, and he sent me a £40 voucher with a lovely card. You probably got the card on it. But I phoned him up on Mother's Day to thank him, and he answered the phone. It's nearly always Elisa that answered the phone, and I used to relay messages to him, didn't I? But he answered the phone, and that's the day before. And I said, thank you for the Mother's Day present. That's lovely. I said, I'll get the gift. It's nice. And I said, how are you doing, Nick? He said, I'm doing all right, Mum. So I was able to speak to him the day before we little did he know. And if you've got to go up in your own bed,
It's a nice thing for him, but for Lisa,
oh, yeah.
must have been a terrible shock.
Yeah. And did Nick save Adele when you remember we used to go every Sunday down that?
Yeah, it was on that Lilo. Mum always used to say about that. They were on the Lilo, and because she always used to say to me, don't ever use inflatables, I nearly died.
Yeah. And Nick saved her life. Yeah, saved Adele's life.
What, did you go and get her?
No, they were all out on it, I think, and I think she said it was Steve and I think it was her and Mick, and I think Steve was there, and they had to sort of drag her back in.
Were all together. Yeah.
He was one we always turned to as well if there was a problem.
I think also I'd like to say about his fostering.
Yes.
He used to foster really difficult boys that were one step away from secure, and they all left us in a very positive manner. And Adam, who was with us, came back. Did you say?
That's Dad, wasn't it?
Yeah. He said all his values, everything. I mean, Adam's got two boys and a little girl, and he looks after them on his own. And he said all his values, everything he teaches them is what Nick taught us.
It's quite heavy, Mum.
Yeah, it is heavy.
Oh, I say. Right, here we go, Mick. Okay. Have you done it then?
Do you want to, Mum?
Please.
That's want to.
Don't you? No. No, okay. Yeah. I'm just doing little bits. Right? There's loads in there.
Let's bring back horrible memories for you. Oh, don't be silly.
Good tree though. Good tree.
It's a lovely tree.
Good solid
Huge.
tree. That's not going to go anywhere in a storm, is it?
No.
Damien was just saying,
No, I don't wanna
Nick
do it.
probably led on these trees. You know what I mean? He probably winged
I'll
up
bet
one
it's been up. I'll bet it's been up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. That one. No, I know. You don't see many like that, unfortunately. Not in the street.
You need a hell of a strong weed killer for that.
Yeah.
There's so much. It is a lot, isn't it?
This Fiona?
Doesn't.
It's number 33, this tree. Says it on there.
Well, what's your code?
You take part from home.
Symbolic. That's quite symbolic watching it blow across
Yes.
with the girls and yeah, quite Viking like. Oh, that's nice.
Still coming. Okay.